There's a show about your life, though. Why would you just leave it? I want that.
The life or the leaving it?
The life part. If people are entertained by just your life, then why would you go?
I guess just because all the people that care about you are pretending. That kind of puts a little bit of a damper on the... Look, it's like godly light.
I mean, if people were pretending to care about me, I'd much rather that than them just not caring about me. Why did we start this video? Not to talk about the Truman Show. What's the movie that we just watched? Wanderlust.
Wanderlust. Yeah.
We watched
We're
Wanderlust.
talk about our thoughts about that.
So, first of all, this movie, I feel like we both would have enjoyed it a lot more if it had not been the censored version of it.
Yeah!
Paul Rudd wasn't allowed to curse. My main question after finishing this movie is...
Finching?
Finishing.
Oh!
Yes.
That makes a lot more sense.
How do you use finching as a verb?
It's like you Paul, you know, in Wet Hot American Pie, not
Wet Hot American Pie.
Gross. It's wet. We all know why. You finch something. Pie. What does Finch even fucking do? Does he do anything?
He doesn't shit at school.
Okay. So you finch something by not taking a shit on it. That's after
I'm gonna try this again. My main question after finishing this movie was, does Ken Marino get another car? Like, is he...
That's your priority right now.
Yeah, I'm worried about him.
He really wanted that car back. Motherfucker!
I'm gonna silence my phone. First of all, out of 10, what would you give this movie?
Out of 10. Okay, so what kind of movie would you put at 1, and what kind would you put at 10?
I have actually rated a 10 I gave Wet Hot American Summer.
Mm-hmm.
A 10 I also gave Hell Baby, so that shows you where my taste in movies is. A 1 I gave Bad Milo and movie 4030.
Okay, I gotcha. What kind of movie would you give a 5?
No, movies I gave 10s were American Pie, Hell Baby, The Hangover, Wet Hot American Summer. The movie I gave a 6 was Monster Trucks.
Mm-hmm. I never saw it.
It's not very good. I gave it that because I really liked Thomas Lennon in it. Greatest Showman I gave a 5. I didn't care for it.
Okay, alright. So 5 is didn't really care for it, but
it's fine.
Not, it's 5 is fine. 5 fine. Fine 5.
Yeah. I gave Trolls a 5 also though.
God.
So
I'd give it like a...
I think an 8 for me.
I'd give it a 7 because higher than that is where I'm like, oh man, this movie had something I really liked, like one of my favorite actors, or like a robot, a detective,
would you give
or a reporter. Slash?
What would you give Slash?
Oh God.
I don't remember what I actually gave Slash.
Slash was like it had Hannah Marks, which was a really big plus. And other than that,
I gave it a 10.
Really?
I really, really liked how they handled the scene with Michael and the kid.
Yeah,
in
that
the
was
car.
really good.
And that was enough for me to give it a 10.
They did a lot. They had a really, really shitty premise, and they did it really well. And also, there was an actress that I really like, so I'd give it an 8.
You rate? I can't rate movies harshly. I give Wanderlust an 8 because it would have been like a 6 because, you know, Ken Marino's character I liked the way that was. I like Paul Rudd.
You like Paul Rudd?
I like Paul Rudd. It gets the extra 2 stars for the Stella Boys being the news anchors.
Playing themselves,
yeah.
That was really good. Yeah, I liked that a lot. But like when I give something a high rating, it's because of things in the plot that I really, really liked, or like characters that I really, really liked.
I can't remember the plot of Wanderlust already. What happened? Justin Theroux, I can't ever think of him as anything other than Jesus because the first thing I saw him in, he was Jesus. Stop it. Stop it.
Sorry.
The plot was George.
Jesus.
That's Paul Rudd.
Yes.
Paul Rudd is George, and
Paul Rudd is George.
Linda is his wife.
Linda's his wife.
Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston.
Are you just repeating?
Are you what?
What? They live in New York, and George just got fired. Except he says he got fired, but he didn't actually get fired. The company was seized.
Is gone.
It's bye.
Bye-bye.
Gone.
Gone.
So he's like, hey, we should go stay with my brother because we need to stay somewhere. That's the only
Paul
name.
Rudd and Linda.
Paul Rudd and Linda
live in New York City.
They live in New York City. They just bought a studio apartment.
Yes.
Paul Rudd loses his job. And he's like,
yeah.
I got fired.
Iron. That's what he sounded like.
Yeah. He doesn't know how to speak.
He doesn't. No one does.
Yeah.
It's just part of the human condition.
So then they're on the way to stay with his brother, and they run into naked Joe Latrulio.
Yeah.
He's not wearing any clothes.
Entirely just... We would... Okay. This was a censored version, but if it hadn't been...
I'm sure...
We would have... The whole thing. The whole 9 yards.
He's just...
It's not 9 yards. Oh, God.
No. Absolutely not. Yeah, so
the whole 9 yards.
This isn't 9 yards.
You know, I'm sorry my arms aren't 9 yards long, man.
The point is he's very naked. That's his whole thing.
Really. That's
Okay, so they run into him, and he's like, whoa, the bed and breakfast is that way. And then they're like,
it's a commune. It's a hippie cult.
This man is
Hippie
naked.
cult over here. This man is naked.
Let's go the other way.
Let's leave immediately.
So they back up, and their car flips over, so they're stuck there.
No, they back up. And then
he
Joe
runs after them.
For some ungodly reason, he's like, no, wait, you know, naked.
He runs straight after them, and they back up faster, and they run.
They're trying to
escape
escape naked Joe Latrulio.
And the car flips over. So they have to stay there with him. And he's like, man, they were trying to get away like they thought I was some naked weirdo.
But he's still naked.
Naked the whole time. Anything you do...
Never not naked.
Yeah, you can't assume that he's ever wearing clothes.
No, you can't. You simply can't do it. He wears a thong once. So
to avoid getting pubes in his wine.
He's not putting just a glass of wine down there. He's making the wine.
With his feet.
Oh, yeah. Your feet juice is fine, but pubes, no siree.
You don't want those.
No.
They stay there for a night. And then they leave the next day. And one of the guys is like, you can come back whenever you want. We want you to be here.
And he cries. He's Jesus.
It's Jesus and he's crying.
Justin. Justin cries like a little bitch.
Justin Trudeau. No. Justin Theroux.
Justin Theroux cries like a little bitch.
And then they leave, and they go to Rick's house. And Rick is my favorite character.
He's a terrible man.
He's just the worst, and he's screaming all the time.
All of it.
And that's
my dog.
Your dog on the roof. Okay, so Rick is just the worst. He's the worst, and he's my favorite.
He's a bad.
He's really aggressively heterosexual.
To the point where it goes all the way around, and he's gay again.
Again?
You know what I mean. It's like...
It's a circle. So you start here, and you're heterosexual.
Yeah, you start here, and you're heterosexual.
This is the worst way to explain this concept.
And it goes... Okay, and the more heterosexual you act... This is how you're perceived, by the way. The more heterosexual you act, it goes around... you're going down? I thought we were going up with this. Okay, no. We're
start
going
here,
down.
and then you end here. So you go...
Oh, we're going that way. I thought this side... Okay. Okay, no, you don't go all the way around the circle. This half is the gay side, and this half is the straight side. And so you start up here at... This is the boundary between straight and gay. Like, it's from...
Put your hand down a little so the camera can see.
Okay. It's from really gay to a little straight. And so you're right here. And the more straight you get, the more farther you go down the circle. For more straight you act. And then if you... God, if you act too... You act too... Wait, which way was I going the first?
This way.
Which way is that?
This way.
Oh, yeah. If you act too straight, You go. I'm sorry. The image is the mirror image is just confusing the
Don't
fuck out
pay
of me.
attention to it.
Okay, so if you go all the way around,
You're closing your eyes.
you act so. Otherwise, I'll get confused.
Okay, so anyway,
you go all the way around. The straighter you act, you get to a point where you act so straight that you go into seeming gay, and then you seem gay. But if you act gay enough, then you can seem straight again.
yeah, so the part where you act too straight that people think you're gay, that's where Ken Marino
Yes,
is.
all the time in real life too.
Like most of the time he's about there and he screams a lot. That's just his deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where Rick is.
And he's an ass. Talks about his dick all the time. It's like, see, dick. That's not how dicks are. I sure fucking hope not. God
So
damn
that's
it.
where Ken Marino's character in this is. That's where Rick is. Yes, my favorite. What happens after that? So Rick blows his lid. He's like screaming and he breaks some things.
Oh yeah. Rick is
So
like,
George is like, I don't wanna be here.
George doesn't want his advice, and Rick's like, fuck. You gotta take my fucking advice, man. I'm your brother, and I let you in here. And
So
Paul
George
Rudd
is
is
like,
sitting
no.
there for a minute, quietly fuming. Then he gets up, he takes a plate, and he goes, and it shatters in a million fucking pieces. And he's like, I'm leaving.
So they
Ridiculous.
go back to the commune.
Yes, 100% not because they like it there. Yeah, well, I mean they did. They had a good time, but
But they don't
they're
want to live there.
entirely going there because Paul Rudd is mad at his brother.
That's like the whole
Fuck
thing.
this. I had exactly one other option and I'm taking it, you know?
So they go there, and there's no doors. And there's a horse.
No doors. No doors. Did they
And-
have outside doors?
No.
Fuck.
There weren't any doors.
No,
That was their whole thing.
Oh yeah, you're right.
The underlying message of this movie was that doors are important.
Oh yeah, I think that was the original working title. Doors are important.
That was it? Yeah.
Boundaries. That could have been a good title. Boundaries. Boundaries. Wouldn't that have been a good title?
But it's called Wanderlust.
Why the fuck is it called Wanderlust?
Because
Well-
that's the thing.
That's interesting, actually, because, okay, we're going to assume these people have seen Wanderlust now. We have stopped with the point of where we're pretending that they haven't seen Wanderlust. They clicked on this because they saw Wanderlust, okay? We're just, I don't want to say this whole movie again.
But I don't remember what happened.
Oh,
I remember that nobody knows how the first car ended up
in the lake.
in the lake.
The first one.
We know how the
Two
second
ones,
one
two
was there.
times.
That was Paul Rudd's fault.
Oh,
George
yeah.
drove a car into it. Like, Rick's not going to be happy about that. Okay, what were you saying?
Well, I was gonna say also about Wanderlust. So it's called Wanderlust, which I thought was interesting because it's not about traveling or wanderlust at all. It's about staying places, you know? The thing about Linda was that I guess the wanderlust, it was kind of about wanderlust for her because she could never commit to anything, but it wasn't about a physical place or even it was like a lifestyle or a job or a career. Career, that's the big one.
Yeah, she doesn't want to decide on a career.
That's not wanderlust. That's just fucking not wanting to commit, you know? But it's not about wanderlust. It's about staying in the same place, you know? She wants to settle down in the New York apartment and buy it, you know, and commit to that, you know? And
then they can't.
And they can't, you know? They really tried to, and also it was kind of killing them inside a little bit.
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, and then when they get there, they get to there, and it's like, we can't stay here. But then, okay, they get to the commune, and the whole thing is about staying or not staying. It's not about going to different places. It's about staying in one place. So it's kind of an opposite thing. I thought this was going to get deep as I went along.
It hasn't, but
Fuck.
continue anyway.
I was trying okay, I'm going to really hope this goes somewhere.
If it doesn't, that's fine. Wait, so they go to the commune the
Mhm.
first time, and then they leave, and everyone's like, you should stay here, and they don't. So they go to Rick's place with the full intent to stay there.
And they don't. So it's not about wandering, it's about staying and not staying. It's about leaving. It's about leaving places.
He goes back to
All
Rick's
they ever
place.
fucking do. They love leaving so much.
So Paul Rudd goes back to Rick's house.
Then he leaves to go and find Linda.
He steals Rick's car
And he
drives it
leaves.
into a lake.
Yeah, he leaves to the lake. He goes right there. He doesn't
Just right
even get
into
out
it.
of the car before he gets into the lake. He drives that car directly from his brother's garage and into a lake, you know?
What was the relevance of the casino thing? It just feels like it was kind of
didn't
there.
go anywhere. It was to prove that the guy that Jesus is an asshole.
Yes.
But I figured that out. We knew that. We were already flipping the camera off. Like, fuck you, Jesus.
What camera?
Sorry, Jesus.
Screen.
No, you know what I mean. We're at the Truman Show.
Everything is the Truman Show if you think about it long enough.
Damn it.
I remember there was a scene where he was sitting with that guy and talking about what is halfway around the world. What's the furthest you can get from where you are. And that's all I remember.
That's the whole thing. The whole
it.
thing of it.
I remember that, and I remember
thought that was-
good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
I liked the fact that it wasn't just that, oh, that's where the girl said she was going. You know, I liked the fact that it was also kind of about, this is the farthest away you can get from this location, you know?
He wants to go all the way away from there. This
know.
isn't the movie we're talking about right now.
Fucking Grace. It's just the Truman Show is so, it's like that thing, like the record for the longest time spent sitting around talking about Paris, Texas.
We could do that with the Truman Show.
We could. We'd have to rewatch it again.
Yes, we would.
And then I think we would have to post the video if we did the video. We'd have to post it entirely uncut to prove we actually spent that time.
That's disgusting. Okay, anyway, Wanderlust.
Wanderlust.
You said something in the middle of the movie that made me think we should record this video.
Yeah, I remember. The tree. I believe I can fly.
Yeah, it was about how she
was on the drugs.
yes,
And
of course. She was on so many
Naturally.
of them.
So many. Well, it was just
It was
one,
just
but
one
there
that
was a lot
like,
of them
really
in there.
strong.
You know?
It's like peyote, but stronger. And
So
she's on a tree.
On a tree. She's like, I believe I can fly. And Paul Rudd, she's on like a very, very tall tree. She could break everything in her body. So,
Paul Rudd is like, no, you can't.
you cannot fly. Please don't
No, you
kill
can't
yourself.
fly. You can't fly.
Okay.
And she is mad at him for telling her
that
that she can't fly.
And yeah, and
But
so
she can't.
she can't fly.
She cannot
She's trying so hard to
physically
tell her.
fly.
And she jumps anyway, and fucking Jesus Thoreau
Catches her. He catches her.
He catches her, and then he tells her, "Oh, you can fly. You can fly. I believed in you all along.
No,
you can
she
fly."
can't.
Absolutely not. So the thing is, that's the reason she likes him, not because of anything he's really doing. He's just enabling the self-destructive things she does, and not telling her the truth because he wants to get in her pants, you know? And
Paul Rudd is
she
the good
responds to
guy.
that because it just seems better. Paul Rudd is the good guy because
He loves
even though
her.
he seems like he's crushing her dreams or whatever, he's trying to protect her and keep her from hurting herself, you know? And it's like, and
I've
he
never
was the
been
one
more
trying to get her
frustrated
not to
with
jump,
Justin Thoreau.
and Jesus Thoreau is the one who gets to be the hero in that situation.
He didn't even. He caught her. Yeah, but he.
And that's just pretty much a metaphor for the whole thing, you know?
That's all of it.
You know? Paul Rudd wants the best for her, but
He's being realistic.
yeah.
That's how he was about the studio apartment. That's how he
But-
was about all the things she did.
But Justin Thoreau, because he'll say anything to get her to do what he wants, he gets to seem like the good guy, you know? And that's not fair. And that's the movie.
Yeah. Is that all of our thoughts? Is that all we
I thought we
think?
had so many thoughts. Yeah,
Doors. At the end
First
of
of all,
it, Paul
because of
Rudd
the
is like,
doors.
doors. We like them.
that seems like that was the conclusion. The conclusion was just doors. Good to have them, you know?
Yeah, you want some doors
You want
in
some
your
doors
house.
in your house.
Shut your doors.
Shut the doors. So, but also the concept of boundaries, you know? It's I think that's that's the door thing is almost kind of a metaphor because
Everything's a metaphor.
yeah,
If you think about it enough.
that's what English classes taught me. You can make anything a fucking metaphor, and it'll sound so smart, even if you're talking entirely out of your ass. The birds, they're a metaphor for her final ascension. I have written almost exactly that, and my English teacher ate it the fuck up, okay? English, being good at writing is just being good at lying. That's the whole thing. In my experience, that's all you need to be good at.
You just jam it full of metaphors
and you lie about all of them.
You see, the guy, Wayne Davidson. I'm so upset about that.
David Wayne Davidson. That's nothing.
Wayne Davidson kind of proved the whole Paul Rudd being the good guy thing when he took his advice on the book.
Yeah.
And immediately everything was better and he had bestsellers and it was all incredible. All because Paul Rudd was like, you know what, dude? This sucks. It's not entertaining. I don't like it.
The movie is about how being realistic in a lot of media is like equated with being like a dream crusher and stuff like that. But no, realism can help you achieve the things you want to do, and someone that's giving you realistic advice isn't trying to shoot you down. They really have your best interest at heart, and we forget that a lot because we want things to just go the way that we always pictured them, but that's not how that works, you know?
Exactly who wrote the scene where they're tearing up business cards?
That was the fucking best scene in the movie, okay?
They just sat there throwing...
I enjoyed it when Paul Rudd got to punch Jesus Thoreau, but the business card scene was the best scene.
Just ripping up business cards. Oh, you want it? I got more. Here, I'll do it too. Business cards for everyone. There's a Kinko's down the road. That was a good one.
I'm gonna go and get more business cards.
So we can just stand here and rip up business cards all day.
Oh boy.
So yeah, Wanderlust. That was a good one.
My current theory is that Wayne Days, that's the show where David Wayne plays himself in a really strange universe of his life. It's like the Truman Show, if Truman knew what was going on and he was just okay with it.
Thanks for watching our video. If you liked it, please click like and subscribe. You can press the little bell if you want to get we'll probably start doing reviews whenever we watch anything because we're extra and like talking about things.
Mm-hmm. I love the sound of my own voice. No, I hate it.
Oh my
God,
me
when
too.
It's coming out of my mouth. Sometimes.
Does your voice come out of other people's mouth?
Destroy this soy boy liberal beta feminist cock in the comment section, if you would, please.
Ben isn't on it, but McKinley
why?
is. I don't know. And he's hugging the
Wait.
Skylab tracking device.
Oh no, it should have been that McKinley wasn't on it because he had a thing. He had to go to his thing.
He had to go to his thing at 11, so he couldn't be on the t-shirt. Anyway,
woo!
We've tried to do this outro for like 10 minutes. I'm just gonna end this before it gets worse.